Welcome everyone, my name's Dom, and the PlayStation 5 is finally here. So I actually think it's been here for about a month as of recording this. So I wanted to make this video kind of as my initial thoughts, impressions, an incomplete review, if you will, on the PlayStation 5, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. So yeah, let's get into it. So the PlayStation 5, yeah, we have, there's two versions. You can get the digital, and you can get, as I've been calling it, the classic edition. That's the one with the disc drive in. I think other people have been calling it the standard edition. $399 and $499 USD, US dollars, respectively, for the consoles. We ended up picking up a classic edition console for the channel. You can find that unboxing here if you haven't seen that one yet. Definitely go check it out. Yeah, my first kind of initial impression of the console is it's big, and when you have it in kind of like a wide open space, it's not as big as you would think. But as soon as you put it into your entertainment center, I mean, it's big. Like the rumors were true, everything about it. It's a big console. It's not as heavy as the Xbox Series X, which I'm going to be doing an incomplete review for that one as well. At first I thought the design was kind of goofy when I saw it on their announcement trailer when they announced it back earlier, like I don't know, a few months ago, as of recording this video. And, it looked kind of futuristic and kind of, like it almost seemed like it wanted to be the center of the attention in your living room. But, like the design has kind of grown on me. I do wish that for the classic edition console, that on the other side, where you'd find the top of the console, right, if it's laying horizontal, you have the disk drive on the one side. I wish they had also, even if it's just like empty plastic on the shell, I wish they would just done something to make it symmetrical, so it kind of fits. I don't know, I think it would just look better. Where the digital console looks amazing because it's just it's nice and symmetrical, and I really like that look for this console, having the symmetry. So the protrusion of the disk tray is just kind of, disk drive is just, it's kind of awkward. It doesn't really hurt the look of the console like too much, but it just would have been nice to have some symmetry there. The console is, using the console, the UI has been, it's been nice. It's like a really refined version of the PlayStation 4's UI. Still that kind of cross media bar-esque type ordeal. You have your games and your tiles and all that stuff, and it's pretty simple, right? And I like it because it's really gamer focused. They did change some of the UI elements in the way that you get to them with the PlayStation button. So now one of the things I don't like is if you press the PlayStation button, you get this basic menu of kind of some quick options, and if you press and hold, you get the home menu for the UI, and that's fine. But I'm used to kind of pressing and holding from the PlayStation 4 to access the rest mode and power state options. And on this console, you just press it, not press and hold, and then you get the power options, and that allows you to put the console into rest mode, which is just a little counterintuitive, especially because like the Xbox, if you have an Xbox, has been working that way, where you press and hold to access the power options for entering rest mode. So it's a little weird, but I mean, I guess you kind of get used to it. The loading speeds, which has been a big thing with this console, have been excellent for some of the games that are out. Call of Duty, Cold War, that loads instantly. Demon's Souls, that loads really quick. It's really nice, and I'm really excited for when we see more the developers get more used to using this hardware and really can see what they can do as far as taking advantage of that SSD and loading speeds. Performance has been really good. I haven't noticed any like hiccups or stutters. The one thing though that I can say, and I don't know to what degree, I don't know how much of this is the console's fault and how much of this is the game's fault. The system software seems like not buggy, but kind of unstable. It seems, I haven't seen it like a lot, but I feel like I've gotten more system crashes and just more hiccups with this console than I have seen in previous PlayStation consoles, or just previous consoles in general. And with all the stories of PlayStation 5's bricking, it does make me a little fearful to use the console sometimes, just because I'm worried about it breaking the console, since you can't get one because of the stupid scalpers. It's a little scary. It's a little scary. So I've been trying to treat it well. I'm making sure the thing stays cool, and it's quiet too. So kind of getting into that, right? A nice little segue into the next subject. The console has been whisper quiet pumps out a lot of heat, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? That was heat that was in the console that's now being released out of the console. So it has been whisper quiet compared to the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro. It's night and day. I mean, you cannot hear the thing. Actually, when I initially had the console, I put it into a cabinet with a glass door, and I was going to set up some fans to help circulate air in and out of the cabinet itself. And then one of the times we forgot to open the door for the thing because I hadn't installed the fans yet to allow it to breathe, and it took, I think, like 45 minutes or so of gameplay. And yeah, that fan was really spinning, but you know, after we opened the door, you know, it cooled off and hasn't had any problems yet. I've since moved the console into a more open space, just to make sure. I've heard stories about the whole, you know, some of the parts not necessarily being able to relate to the memory, not getting cooled off properly, although it seems to be working in operating specs, so we'll see. You know, I just the PlayStation 4, I have a launch day PlayStation 4, and that one, you know, that's still working. So I want to make sure that this console makes it, you know, throughout the whole time of its life. Yeah, things with it have been, really smooth. The PlayStation Store, you know, kind of getting back into the UI a little bit. I forgot to mention that before. The PlayStation 4. Oh my God, the PlayStation Store is quick, and it feels exactly the way that it's supposed to. Everything loads quickly, everything happens quickly, everything is just speed with this console. It's super nice. The settings menu is more or less a basic version of the PlayStation 4 settings. Some of their settings are a little weird, and I feel like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like the PlayStation settings kind of dumb things down a little too much and don't let me kind of get into the nitty gritty, but that's just me. You know, I'd like something maybe a little more technical as far as like HDMI outputs and stuff like that. It's just, you basically pick like automatic, or you can pick your preferred setting, and it's, I don't know, I feel like Sony could clean that up just a little bit, but otherwise, yeah, no, things have been really good so far. Now, the big highlight of the PlayStation 5 is, and I actually have one right here, the DualSense controller. So this controller, I have to say, you know, I know that when the PlayStation 3 came out, they tried to change the controller initially, and then there was a bunch of backlash, and they ended up going back, creating the DualShock. The DualShock 3, the classic DualShock 3 that we all know, and then the PS4, they tried to change the controller, and it was goofy, and I talk about it a little bit in my complete review for the PlayStation 4. But this controller, I really, really feel like Sony, they took their time with this guy, and I mean, you can feel it. The adaptive triggers, which everyone's been talking about, has been, they're pretty spectacular. And it's not just resistance. There's actually like actuation points where, you know, there's moments of resistance. And then it's like a trigger pull, right? So you playing Call of Duty, it's easy. You bring down the trigger, and then there's a little bit of resistance, and the second you pull, it like almost like snaps, and then you go all the way through. And that's just like that little extra. I was surprised how much that adds to the gaming experience. And the comfort is really good. The USB Type-C charging, with the reversible cable, that's been great. The size has been great. The built-in microphone, oh my God, the built-in microphone is wonderful. I talk to people way more now using this controller online than I ever did before. It is annoying because now everybody has a microphone, and when you're in a lobby, you might not want to hear what everybody has to say. So, but usually you can go in and you can mute. You can mute yourself. There's a little button here, which is nice. It's a little quick mute. You just tap that guy, and then you're muted. And you can mute other people too in game lobbies. So it's not too much of a hassle, but it is nice. Battery life is better on this controller. It doesn't have that annoying ass light bar. It has the glowing kind of touchpad here on the outside, which is rarely used. I haven't seen it used for PS5 games. I've seen it only really used for PS4 games. So I'm guessing that's some kind of backwards compatibility thing. But the battery life has been much better on this controller than for the PlayStation 4. The joysticks are comfortable. One of the things that I noticed is there is a metal ring in the cavity where like around the edge of the cavity for where the joystick goes. And I like that because that tells me that if you've ever like used a controller for a really long time and looked at the joystick, you might notice there's some wear around kind of the stem, the body of the joystick. So I feel like them making it out of metal is really going to help keep the life of the controller relevant. The one real complaint I can have, the one real complaint that I have about the controller is they did this really cool thing where they have like this super tiny texture on the controller itself on the back, and those that texture is made up of all the little like action button symbols, the X, square, triangle, and circle, right? So that is cool, and they're super tiny, and it's one of those like Easter eggs that you would never traditionally notice. But because of the grip and because of the color of the controller, because it's white, there is this tendency, even if you wash your hands and everything like that, there is this tendency for like dirt and grime, and I'm assuming like little tiny bits of skin to get onto the controller, and it gets dirty often, and it's kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie. Like, even if you wash your hands, scrub, it doesn't matter. It seems like it still pulls things off. And since, you know, the controllers are adaptive, right? You have to, there's resistance. I feel like sometimes I grip the controllers a little harder than what I would normally do, just to make sure, you know, I'm actually able to get that enough force onto the trigger, so it's, you know, responding the way that I want it to respond. But other than that, I don't have a single complaint about the controller at all. It has been, it's good job, Sony. Like seriously, good job with that one. Another big thing that I've noticed getting back into the PlayStation Store, but downloading games is like excellent. I have gigabit internet. I actually did a video on how fast those PlayStation 5 games have been downloading with gigabit internet, and I mean, it is significant. I sometimes get like full bandwidth, full throttle, downloading, you know, 30-40 gigs in under 10 minutes. So the speed relative to the PlayStation 4 downloads has been wonderful, and that's good because games are getting bigger, and since the SSD is smaller, 825 gigs, I find that it does get filled up a little bit faster. I don't have too many games for the console yet, but I do find that if I load my PS4 library on there, it like gets screwed. And Black Ops Cold War is taking up like 160 gigs or something ridiculous. I don't know how a first-person shooter with 6 or 7 maps needs that much space, but I mean, it is what it is, right? So it is nice though. You can, you know, there's USB ports on the backs. You can run an external, and you can load PS4 games onto the external and play them off there, and they seem to load fine. I don't notice, you know, even if you have like a standard little USB power only external hard drive, I haven't noticed the loading speeds really be all that affected. It seems to load just fine. There's a little bit of a boost in loading speeds if you have the game on the SSD itself, but I haven't noticed it the speeds be like significantly improved unless the developers have put a patch in. Like GTA 5 runs really well, so I think also like Tekken loads pretty quick. Last of Us, those kind of games, the Sony first party ones seem to play really well. It is nice that with the PS4 games that had PS4 Pro in mind, you get full 4K, 60 frames, so performance there has been really good. So yeah, so all in all, I mean, the console's been really nice. I do hope that, you know, Sony's able to work out some of the bugs that's been going on between the software and, you know, the console itself. So, you know, we don't see any bricked consoles anymore. Bricked consoles. I'm really sorry if your console got bricked. I'm sure there'll be like a fix coming out soon, but yeah, you know, just be careful. You know, take care of it. It's, you know, it's new, so it's going to take some time to kind of figure out, you know, like what's causing all these issues. So hopefully, you know, it's not like in the hardware itself of the console, and it's something that could be patched out with firmware. But I mean, yeah, I you know, it's been nice. It's a really good machine. Sony did a good job. It's a huge improvement on a lot of the complaints I had with the PlayStation 4. So, you know, keep that one up. And yeah, I think that about wraps up this video. You know, definitely guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out some of my other PlayStation 5 videos. I'm hoping to get some gaming videos out for you soon. And yeah, as always, talk to you soon.